This is the DC Improv. This show has a lot of local flavor from right here in Washington, D.C. Please welcome Alex Espinoza.
I hope you're all doing great tonight. Thanks for coming out. I really appreciate it because I'm not a very good comedian. So I definitely appreciate it. So, me and my girlfriend recently signed up to volunteer at an animal rescue league right here in DC, the world. So, I love dogs. She loves cats. So, if you've ever been to an animal rescue league, the dog section is kind of like a prison. A little bit. Like, you walk in there and you're like, oh my god, this is kind of scary. Like the dogs are like exchanging cigarettes with each other and stuff. It's kind of weird. And it's interesting because like there's some really nice, cute, adorable dogs, and then there's like the really sketchy, like, what the fuck is that? And so there's one dog who was a Chihuahua and a Poodle mated and made a chapoop. A Chihuahua? I don't know. It looked like a gremlin. I was like, holy fucking shit, what are you? That's my Caesar Milan impression right there. So yeah, it was pretty cool. I was like, oh my god, look at the gremlin. He needed to be in the Gremlin Rescue League. And I looked at him and I tried to walk him out. He just looked at me and was like, caca. Like, this fucker talks. What kind of dog is this? And he like bit and humped my leg like 5 times before we walked outside. But that's like the dog section. The cat section is totally different. Cat section it's got waterfall coming down, spa, it's like a spa music going down, and it's just like so pretty and nice. And then you see all the crazy cat ladies come out. Right? They come out and they're like, greetings and good tidings! Welcome to Kitty City! And they're like, and then all the cat ladies are like really into each other, and they like rub up against each other, like. They get really into it. They like talk to each other's assholes and stuff. Hey, how is Mr. Darcy doing? He's great. So, yeah, it's kind of weird, but I'm 100% Bolivian American. My parents are from Bolivia. They've been living in the States now for 40 years. My mom speaks like perfect English. She like corrects me on my English. And my dad is still like off the boat pretty much. 40 years he's been living here. And he still is like, he has like a really thick Spanish accent. And you know, I think he has a little bit of Native American in him as well, because he'll be, Alex, you do not what I do. You do better. And he goes, white man bad. So yeah, he's pretty cool. But I picture like back in the day he was like a smooth like Latino cat, you know, like totally cool. Goes up to the ladies and is like, hola, dígame señora, ¿dónde está el Home Depot? So I think that is smooth. There's some things that get lost in translation a little bit, some things don't. For example, like my abuelita, she is like this sweet little Spanish lady, 5'1", like super adorable, half blind, half deaf, all sweet. I love her, she's so sweet. And she's like 85 years old, and she's not a racist. She's not a racist. Don't worry, hold on to the ride, don't worry. So there's some things like that get lost in translation. For example, the color blue in Spanish is azul. The color red in Spanish is rojo. The color black in Spanish is negro. So yeah, hold on for the ride. So my grandma was like 80 pounds, really tiny, super small, and I'm taking her to like walking around DC, and she's got a little purse, and she's like walking really slowly. And some guy who wasn't even black jumped out because she's blind. And he's like, hey man, do you know how to get to the Capitol? And blah, 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 blah. And just scared us. And she was like really frightened. And she couldn't see. And she goes, ¿Qué quiere ese negro? And I was like, no. And the guy flipped out. He was so pissed. He's like, oh my God, what she call me? I will cut her. I will cut her. And Abuelita was like, no, okay, no. And I was like, no, sorry, sir. She's old. I'm sorry. I apologize. She doesn't do that. She's not racist. But I thought about it, and I was like, what if it tripped out and she like got all crazy and all of a sudden like whipped out a knife and was like, yeah, and just started stabbing him, and I'd be like cheering her on, like, finish him, Abuelita, finish him. And she like chops his neck out. I'm like, yeah. I'm a little crazy. I think about crazy things. But yeah, the Latinos are pretty traditional. You know, we're old school, very traditional. My dad, especially, is very traditional, as I told you before. And one of the things we did is, like, you know, when you're younger, you need to get your parents' signature for the sex ed class. He took this as opportunity to talk to me about sex. And he goes, I know you're taking the classes for the sex. I was like, yeah, Dad, I'm taking the classes for the sex. I guess he thought, since I had impregnated like 4 girls by the age of 14, like a good Latino should, I needed classes. And my dad, besides sounding like a Native American, he also kind of sounds like Borat a little bit. He's like, you're taking the classes for the sex, you dirty gypsy. Your mother, she has a vagina like a wizard's sleeve. No, oh, now you get upset. But anyway, I didn't learn anything from that stuff. You know, I didn't learn anything from sex ed classes. I had to learn from like everybody else to porn. So I had to go to the porn store. If you've ever been to, you know, I feel old saying that. You know, it's like, you know, back in my day, we didn't have the internet. We had to go buy porn in person. Like an embarrassed animal. And so I remember going in there, and I grew my little Latino mustache, and you know, I somehow convinced the guy, I was like, yo quiero comprar tus películas pornográficas. And the guy was like, whatever dude, just go on in. And I was like, great. Translated, that means, I would like to, sir, I would like to buy porn. For your non-speaking Spanish people. So I remember I went in there, and I was so excited. I had like this huge boner. And I was like knocking over VHS tapes. It's like, oh my God! And if you've ever been to a porn store, which I'm sure some of you have, there's always that one sketchy guy that's like there, and he's like really looking like the pornos like intently, like one by one. He's looking for like the perfect porno. You know, with just enough anal. Looking for that. And I saw the guy, you know, I was sitting there with my huge boner, I'm like, and I saw the guy, and I was like, wait a second, you look familiar. Dad?